got more illegal alien joyriding murderers in Texas now. Poor child was out on a little lake enjoying a little kayak. Two marauding Venezuelan lunatics steal a jet ski and then run her over and kill her. I can't wait for the first Democrat to want to visit them in jail and sit down and have a margarita with them. You know, folks, the longer this goes on, the more likely it becomes that more and more Americans just are going to say no. You say legal or illegal immigrant, it doesn't matter if there's an ill or not in front of the word. Most people are just going to go, how about no? Maybe it's long overdue. Mike Church here with you on a Mike Church show here on a Wednesday, Wisdom Wednesday, asking the question of the day.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Well, we got some gold to give away today.
In order to ensure the security and continuing stability, the Republic will be reorganized into the first galactic empire.
No, you can't.
For a safe and secure society.
About it.
So I'm calling on Congress to pass these reforms, and I'm going to sign them into law.
No, you're not.
Down the thunder, well, now you got it.
You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
All right, our call-in line telephone number, if you'd like to be on the program, 844-527-8723, 844-5-CRUSADE. Oh, I'm laughing. Mr. KingDude, please, why are you laughing? YouTube just notified me that a video I might be interested in watching just got published.
What's that? Arlo?
Watch live now. The Crusade Radio Network, silver and gold. Florida makes silver and gold real money. So I guess you could say that the YouBoob algorithm is working to try and connect viewers with content that they seem to be looking for, because I have been perusing a lot of silver and gold stuff lately. Because today's the last day you can win a Golden Truth ticket here on the air. We haven't played the soundbite yet. We're going to play it sometime this hour. Big caller number what? What is it today? 5? 4?
5.
It's either 5 or 4. It's 5. Be caller number 5. When you hear it, and then the last free Golden Truth ticket is sold. Folks, we had a chance this morning. I didn't check the stats because I didn't want to jinx it before I came on air. So I was asking listeners during the Morning Drive radio program, and I'll ask all of you listening now, we needed to sell 500 and some odd tickets to get to 2,000, which is 1/3 of the original goal. So when you say, like, you should be thankful that you get, well, you know, you're trying to raise funds to stay on air. You set goals, and the goals are reasonable, or so we thought, to give away a pound of gold. But now that you can use gold as real money in the state of Florida, state of Louisiana, right here, West Virginia, Utah, South Carolina, and Wyoming, I believe. Oh, and Indiana. You can actually go and pay your bills, and your debtor, your creditor, cannot tell you no. So, you know, it'd be funny. Not funny, but interesting if it were to happen. These are silver rounds. Okay, these guys go for about $40 a piece right now. Between 35 and 45, just depends on what the day is. And they're beautiful, right? Look how it's a lovely coin, beautiful coin. So you could take one of these Just say you had an electric bill and your electric bill was $100. You could actually go, and I used to say these are $40 a piece. You could actually go to your electric company if they had a pay window and say, yes, I'm here to pay my electric bill. You got your bill in your hand, hand in the bill, and then they go and they slide. They slide the swipe machine out to you, or the iPad, where you can press your card on there and get the green light because, you did the tap and go. And you go, oh, no, there won't be any plastic today. I'm paying in silver. Now, the first time this happens, hilarity and laughter is going to ensue. Oh, you're paying in silver. I got it. This is a role-playing game. You think this is like the Wild West. You're reenacting a scene from Tombstone. And then you stand your ground and you go like, no. I'm actually here to pay this debt. And I'm paying it in silver. My calculation is that this silver is worth $40 an ounce here. This is 3 ounces. That's $120. You say I owe you $101.89. Fork it over, bucko. I want my change in silver. Now, I don't know if they're going to give you change in silver or change in gold, or they can give it to you in rapidly decaying in value currency. But they have to take the silver. So imagine now that in 6 states, or in 7 states in the United States, silver that you can win, second place in the Win a Pound of Gold contest is a pound of these silver rounds. So it's just about, this is about the second prize, almost $400 in value that you can use if you live in one of those 7 states. And if you don't, you could just put it in your safe, or you could turn it into a silver, one of the silver exchanges. It's easy to get cash back for this stuff, but you got to go get your ticket today. Go to winapoundofgold.com, winapoundofgold.com. And we'll talk more about this as the program and this hour gets underway here, because I talked about this in the opening segment. Because I talked about this in the opening segment. Let me just give an update. So I talked about Elon Musk. Play the Musk clip. I talked about Elon being upset that Doge got thrown under the bus and that he risked everything, only to find out that the House of Representatives sent a big, beautiful bill. It's big, it's beautiful, and it's going to get done over to the Senate, and didn't have any of the Doge cuts in it. None. Exactly this many.
0.0.
So Elon goes on CBS Sunday Morning and tells the host this.
So, I was disappointed to see the massive spending bill, frankly, which increases the budget deficit, not just decrease it, and undermines the work that the Doge team is doing.
I actually thought that when this big, beautiful bill came along. I mean, everything he's done on Doge gets wiped out in the first year.
I think a bill can be big or it can be beautiful, but I don't know if it could be both. My personal opinion.
It could be big, it could be beautiful. I don't know if it could be both. Well, if you go on X, since the big, beautiful bill made it through last Friday, the big, beautiful iceberg breakers, I called it. You're on the SS Titanic. No more time left to start rearranging the deck chairs because they're out of order. No, let's just crash that joker. Trump has it headed towards the iceberg and at full steam ahead because we're gonna ram in speed. We're gonna ram the iceberg and split it in half. Well, there has been so much pushback on this, and so many people have so loudly and continue to loudly complain about this that Trump has had to make some phone calls. President Trump has had to make some phone calls. He had to send Stephen Smith out today. Stephen, get out there to do what you do. Use the Constitution. Use the Constitution. Use it. Explain to the MAGA people we have not abandoned. Elon's still good, right, Elon? You're still good, right? So he sent Stephen Smith out. Stephen Smith said, you guys don't understand. You can't put rescissions or you can't put cuts for mandatory programs in a continuing resolution. You can only do that in a standalone bill, which they're going to do. They're going to have standalone reductions. Okay. Still, that didn't quiet us hungry wolves out here. Go like, we voted for Doge. We want the monster disassembled. All right. What happens when a SpaceX rocket blows up in mid-flight? How do they terminate? They're very crafty with their language. They say that, okay, Starship blew up yesterday. The Starship blew up? Was it? Yeah, it was Starship because the booster actually made it back down to Earth. It actually returned to the launch pad. Starship at some point blew up yesterday, and they said Starship encountered an unscheduled an unscheduled radical dismemberment is what they call it. Oh, you mean it exploded? Yeah, it blew to Kingdom Come. This is an unscheduled radical dismemberment. Okay, so first thing that comes out with people taking to social media and saying that no, we want USAID, for example. We wanted to experience a radical random dismemberment. And that's not what was going to happen. By the way, going live now to the White House, to the Oval Office. It looks like Trump's getting ready to
we have
swear
Christine
in
with us and Alex.
Janine Pirro. Let's see, drop in on this.
Very important place right now. And the two children, but they're not children anymore. And I've heard that, Christine, you're doing unbelievably well and very successful at a great law firm. So it's great to have you with us. Thank you very much. Over 5 decades, Janine Pirro, known by millions as Judge Janine, has devoted her life to the pursuit of justice, the defense of freedom, and the fair, equal, and impartial rule of law. And that's what she's about. She was a great DA. I remember her very well. She was as good as anybody I've seen. She began a career in 1975 as an assistant district attorney in Westchester County, New York, where she prosecuted violent crimes. And that was a serious prosecution. And she went after real criminals, not fake criminals like we seem to do today nowadays, people that shouldn't be prosecuted, including rape, murder, and was a tireless warrior on behalf of the most vulnerable people in our society. In that role, Janine helped create one of our country's first domestic violence bureaus. I think it was the first, Janine. And as its chief, she revolutionized victim protection and bold, innovative policies like very few people even thought of. In 1990, Janine became the first female judge in Westchester County history. And following the year, and by the way, very distinguished, had an unbelievable, distinguished career. And in the following years, she presided over numerous complex criminal cases. The reason they were complex is that other judges were not able to understand them. They were called the complex cases. My sister had them too. They always used to give her the complex cases because other people didn't understand them, including high-stakes felony narcotics trials. Her outstanding judicial record earned her the honor of being named the #1 judge in 1990 by the Independent Fund for Modern Courts. That's nationwide. Outstanding judge. The following year, Judge Janine was elected Westchester County District Attorney, became the top prosecutor for a jurisdiction that included some of the largest suburbs in New York City, including Yonkers and White Plains. It's a big deal. As District Attorney, Janine tackled high-profile violent crime cases and established one of the nation's most successful cybercrime units to combat online child abuse. She was way ahead of a lot of people. They still aren't there, if you get right down. I mean, from what I hear, they're still not there in many cases back there where we come from. In addition to her stellar legal career, Janine also excelled in news media as you know, and she's become one of the most beloved political figures through her time on television, because she's been very, very successful at a thing called television. She got out of what she was doing, and frankly, she does them both great, but she's really, to me, she'll always be known as a great lawyer and a great prosecutor, which is what she's doing now. So Janine Pirro, I have no doubt, will be an exceptional U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, one of the truly most important positions in our country, of any position. where she will. restore
This
public
now
safety
means
in
that
our nation's capital.
Judge Janine will be feeding cases and will be working with Judge crooked leftist communist Beryl Howell, an Obama appointee.
DC area that I can promise you. So I want to congratulate Janine. I want to congratulate you and Christine and your whole family on this undertaking. And as you know, Pam Bondi is doing an unbelievable job as our real leader in the fight against crime. And Pam heard about this, and Pam said, I'll have to find time for Janine. She doesn't have time to do this, but for Janine she did, and she's going to be doing the swearing in. So Pam, thank you very much for the great job you're doing and for swearing in our friend, Justice Janine. Good. Thank you. Come on up.
They're trying to get everyone in the right order.
I do solemnly swear
I, Janine Pirro, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and that I take this obligation freely,
and that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
of
the office upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God. So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Folks, Mike Church here with you on the Mike Church Show. Let me just interject here before Judge Janine takes the stage. This is the worst thing that could have happened to leftards in D.C.
Both my friends for many years. Long ago, I went to law school to study about justice and to bring justice to victims of violent crimes, women, children, and the elderly. I fought to give them a voice in a system that was both blind and deaf to their concerns. I dedicated my heart and soul to making sure that there was a system that responded to them. My profile and my prosecutorial successes garnered public attention, and my life took unexpected turns. Through all of this, President Trump, you have remained as steadfast as one of my earliest supporters and champions. You never wavered. You were always steadfast, trustworthy, and confident. Today, Mr. President, you bring me back to my roots. And it is a larger arena, but no less an arena where we need justice, where we need to send a message that justice will be honored in the District of Columbia. And just last week, here in our nation's capital, two people on the brink of beginning their life had hopes and dreams that were never realized because a cold-blooded murderer made a decision to shoot them down on the streets on a cold, rainy night in our nation's capital. This will not go without just accounting. My voice should be heard loud and clear. No more tolerance of hatred, no more mercy for criminals. Violence will be addressed directly with the appropriate punishment. And this city will again become a shining city on a hill in an America that President Trump has promised to make great again and will make safe again. Mr. President, America thanks you, and I thank you.
Okay, let me just, I'm sure he's going to take some questions here, but we're going to be up against a break in a second here. So let me just say something real quick. Is she still talking?
You just want to talk to him. I get it.
She's going to be fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
There's no question. There's no doubt. We have no doubt you're going to be fantastic. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President on Russia. Mr. President on Russia.
Okay, so okay, the guy that he sent up there, Martin, right? Wasn't that his name? Is it Edward Martin? The dude that he sent up there, this may have been not a Trojan horse, but a Matt Gaetz horse. Maybe they knew that he was never going to get past Mel Tillis of North Carolina or whatever. And he always had Judge Jeanine in his back pocket here. What's happened in D.C. since Merrick Garland, actually since Obama, because the Trump administration was in turmoil in what was going on with the Attorney General, as you know, and with the U.S. Attorney for that district there. So not a lot got done during Trump's 4 years to arrest what Obama had begun to systematically destroy. And of course, you know that Biden carried it on by using Merrick Garland, and the D.C. attorney to go after all of these people that had showed up at the Capitol in 010621 to take selfies and what have you here. You can say whatever you want about Judge Jeanine and about Judge Pirro. Having been watching crime dramas, and almost all of them that the major ones that have been made since the O.J. case, which is probably like the genesis of most of them, I've seen her on a half a dozen of these. She don't play around. Nope. She don't play around. You guys can sit in there and say, yeah, she's just going to go after anti-Semitism. They'll run out of anti-Semitism. They will get to pederasts, and they will get to the other stuff. And that woman right there, because of how she is handling, Trump's right. When she was in Westchester, you can tell when there's law and order, especially at the top in DA's office and U.S. Attorney's office and what have you, because you can just look at crime statistics. Criminals go where they're wanted, which is why they flock to California and cities like New Orleans and other major cities, because they know they can get away with crimes. So you can look and see whether or not there's competence and actual administration of law and order. Well, look at where Judge Jeanine was, and you will see that there was competence in law and order. Crime was not on the rise; it was on the decline, and you need good, strong prosecutors like that. And again, this may have been that they knew the whole time that guy was going to get rejected, and he was going to get her. We'll be back.
We don't know if there's gold in them hills of Dahlonega, Georgia, but we do know there's a pound of gold in the Mike Church vault. And all you have to do to win is listen for the golden sound of the day. Weekday mornings at 6 a.m. on the Mike Church Show on the Crusade Radio Network.
This is a pixel. Now, if you put a couple of million of these dudes together, you can make a sentence on an LED screen. Put a couple billion of them together, and you can make a whole page. Put 160 billion of them together, and you've got Nina Gaynor's A Garden for Mary children's book. But it doesn't smell like a book, and it'll burn teeny little holes in your kids' teeny little corneas. So is the pixel really their friend? That's right, Groot. No. But the Founders Trading Post is their friend. And we have actual books with actual kind of kid-smelly pages and pictures, because kids lack in pictures. Plus, our little bookstore has everything the kids' parents expect. Yep, we got the beast and butt rubs, but nope, there is no Helen Reddy played here.
Pick up a copy of Garden for Mary, plus dozens of other Catholic children's books titles at shop.mikechurch.com.
Hello, Crusaders. I'm Janet Huxley at the Crusade Radio Network News Desk with your Crusade Crucials for Wednesday, May the 28th, 2025. This report is brought to you by winapoundofgold.com. Support the Crusade channel by buying a ticket for a chance to win 1 troy pound of beautiful 24-karat gold. Tickets are limited, so get yours today at winapoundofgold.com. In the market report, the stocks are up again. Dow Jones closed 1.78% up, while the S&P climbed 2.05%. NASDAQ surged 2.47%. In National Day calendar news, today is National Hamburger Day, and you might think the hamburger has been around for a really long time. However, it seems there's a lot of controversy, and most likely it first appeared in the 19th or early 20th centuries. Over the years, the hamburger has become a culinary icon in the United States, obviously. Today is also specifically National Beef Burger Day. It's National Flip-Flop Day and Senior Citizen Health and Fitness Day, and it's National Brisket Day. And our quote of the day: "We must fear God out of love, not love him out of fear." St. Francis de Sales. Our saint of the day is St. Augustine of Canterbury. You're listening to Crusade Radio Network News.
We don't know where D.B. Cooper of Cocaine Bear hid their money, but we do know there's a pound of gold in Mike Church's studio, and all you have to do to win is listen for the golden sound of the day. Weekday mornings at 6 a.m. on the Mike Church Show on the Crusade Radio Network.
The Mike Church Show. A lone voice crying out in the wilderness.
What rights do you think you're referring to?
Rights, like in that official paper that they wrote down the street there?
That's the Bill of Rights.
Yeah, the Bill of Rights. Don't it say something about going after what makes you happy?
No, that's the pursuit of happiness. But what's your point?
My point is I'm pursuing something and nobody looks too happy about it.
He's defending your pursuit of the right to happiness by way of the truth since Rocky IV.
Who's got the right to tell you that? Who? Nobody.
The Mike Church Show is heard exclusively on the Crusade Channel.
Her hair is hollow gold, her lips sweet surprise. Her hands are never cold. She's got Betty Davis eyes. She'll turn her music on you. You won't have to think twice. She's pure as New York snow. She got Betty Davis eyes. And she'll tease you, she'll unease you, all the better just to please you. She's precocious, and she knows just what it takes to make a pro blush. She got Greta Garbo, standoff size. She's got Betty Davis eyes.
I'm Casey Kasem, and we're counting them down on Billboard's Top 100. Here with the number one song of the nation this week of May 31st, 1981, is Kim Carnes with a throwback classic oldie called Betty Davis Eyes.
She got Betty Davis eyes.
You know, it's funny. I re-listened to my interview with Charlie Daniels the other day that I did him for Memorial Day 2012. And I caught something in it that I had forgotten about, and I hadn't heard it before. There was a part in the interview where Charlie and I were talking about, I'm trying to remember exactly what we were talking about. And he said something, and I said something. And then I said, well, Charlie, that's just because I dropped into Bill Clinton. Go back and listen to the interview, and you'll hear Charlie Daniels laugh and go, man, you do them voices good. Charlie Daniels complimented El Jefe Dude on my impersonation skills. Compliment of a lifetime. Okay, so I just listened to it. Trump just fielded a question here. Ladies and gentlemen, the stupid party has rung the alarm bells. The fire poles have descended from the roof of the Capitol. They are at full DEF-CON 1 or DUMB-CON 1 because they're stupid. Elon Musk going on that show Sunday and dropping that 13-second soundbite that I just played for you has set all of Mordor on fire. Now, this is why I don't join almost all of you in your baseball and football like superfan cynicism. I watch some of what goes on in the chat room, and then I start to think to myself, oh, okay, well, I get it now. You guys view the future of the world like you view baseball and football. This guy's going to get up there and he's going to strike out and screw you. This guy is going to get up there, and because he's on the other team, he's going to hit a grand slam home run and screw you. This guy who just moved over to second base is going to field a double play and he's going to drop it because he's done that once in his life, and then they're going to get the bases loaded and they're going to win. This guy is going over to center field, which he hasn't played in center field, and there's going to be a short pop fly to short center, and he's not going to make it because he's fat and slow, and he's going to cost you the game. Because this happens all the time. Sports fans are jaded. They remember every bad thing that happened. Believe me, I know. I'm a Saints fan. But hardly any of the glorious things that have ever been done or the good things that have ever happened. So naturally, you tend towards everything that comes in front of you has met with a prediction of doom and disaster. When it comes to what's going on in Mordor, I'm going to take the Marjorie Taylor Greene approach, and I'm going to say that, well, we may be past the point of no return, and I talk about that every day on the Mike Church Show, and that we ought to all be prepared to secede. I think in the back of his mind, President Trump might even think that the debt is unmanageable, can't be paid back, and you can't get these people out of the way, and it's just impossible to scale down the size of the federal monster. But let me just tell you, for all of you cynics out there that are so convinced that everyone is working against you and that whatever with the Epstein video and whatever Pam Bondi hasn't done and all that, official stupid party Mordor is mortified of pissing off Elon Musk. They do not want to dynamite that bridge. Now, that ought to tell you that if they don't want to, because if they really didn't care, and if they're just going to do what they were going to do anyway, then they wouldn't go into damage control mode. This just came out while Trump was speaking and during the last time out. This is from the Zion King, the greatest Zionist in this hemisphere, Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House of Representatives. I'm going to read it to you verbatim. Maggie could show it to you on video. Quote, at Elon Musk and the entire at Doge team have done all caps incredible work, ending all caps, exposing waste, fraud, and abuse across the federal government, from the insanity of USAID spending to finding over 12 million people on Social Security who are over 120 years old. The House is eager and ready to act on Doge's findings so we can deliver even more cuts to big government that President Trump wants and the American people demand. We will do that in two ways. One, when the White House sends its rescission package to the House, we will act quickly by passing legislation to codify the cuts. Two, the House will use the appropriations process to swiftly implement Trump's 2026 budget. In the meantime, we have been working around the clock as we prepared for those processes. The House made sure to build on Doge's success with the One Big Beautiful Bill. He's talking about Stephen Miller now, I mentioned him earlier, has made an important point about the two efforts. Doge found savings in discretionary spending, such as funding agencies, while our One Big Beautiful Bill secured over $1.6 trillion in savings in mandatory spending, such as Medicaid. Both are historic and take huge steps towards addressing our debt and deficit. Signed, faithfully, your lover, the Speaker of the House, oh, the Zion King. Those are not, now look, that is a press release. Now, previously, Johnson had put this out, and apparently it didn't do the job. When the White House sends its rescission package to the House, we will act quickly by passing legislation to codify both cuts. The House will use, and he quoted this, but this apparently was in something else that he must have done, because he followed that up with like, okay, apparently Elon didn't hear. And since Elon didn't hear, let me make this as abundantly crystal clear as I possibly can. No, it's going to happen. Thank you for the work. We're not going to sweep it under the rug. The Doge cuts are going to happen. Okay. Earlier today, then you had this. From MTG, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, quote, I was just told that we are going to see the first Doge cuts bill on Monday. Foreign aid and NPR, CPB, that's National Communist Radio and the Corporation for Communist Broadcasting, or the Communist Public Broadcasting Corporation, on the chopping block. I've not seen the bill yet, but I'm just passing on what they told me. Personally, I want to pass Doge cuts every single week until the bloated, out-of-control government is reined back in. Now, this is where I think that this is reality that is setting in, and I don't think some of you people's expectations are based in reality. You have to remember, as I have been saying, they didn't just rack up $230 trillion in unfunded debts and liabilities, while they were just hanging out, smoking cigars and eating filet mignons in back rooms and yucking it up with their buddies. It takes an awful lot of people and decades to get hundreds of trillions of dollars in the hole. You can't just Thanos snap that out of existence. And if you did, do you really want your children, especially if they're young, growing up in a state of anarchy? Where if you think lawlessness is out there now, imagine when they say that, okay, well, look, the whole thing's over. We don't have a union anymore, so we're going to break the states up. And then can you imagine, do you think the people, the statesmen in your state are capable of actually being the kind of statesmen like founding fathers and getting a state-ordered or a secede government correct? I think you better approach that with a little more caution than you're approaching it with. We can babble on endlessly about secede. When it actually comes to doing it, you have to keep people from getting killed. You have to keep people from being the victims of abuse. You have to keep people from being the victims of not just blue-collar, criminal, sinister mastermind crime. What about the people that are going to say, hey, man, I see a great opportunity here. Now that they busted this whole thing up, we can muscle in here and we can run this thing. You don't think that people that have been skating by high on the hog on white-collar crime and corruption, you think they're just going to go to work and start woodworking shops and start building chairs that sit out in front of Cracker Barrel restaurants? Yeah, that's going to happen. No, they're going to try and steal from you. So the idea here that everyone is going, that we're all going to be whistling, literally whistling Dixie when the whole thing blows up and there's bankruptcy, and then your state is actually going to start governing itself. You know what, dude? I hope you're right. I really do. You better watch what you wish for, though. I don't have a lot of confidence that the legislators in this state can get that right that quickly. Maybe they can. Do you think they can do it where you live? Or do you just keep Protestantizing America and just keep breaking it into and until you're down to what? Neighborhoods? It's happened before. It could happen again. Marjorie Taylor Greene. As a country, we cannot survive our national debt. And honestly, we may be past the point of return. We should aggressively be attacking our debt and aggressively cutting all waste, fraud, and abuse and unnecessary programs. Our future literally is in peril. So I think that both of those, I think that they don't want to piss off Elon is one thing. I think the second thing that people like Marjorie Taylor Greene go like, look, dude, we may be, this problem may be too big to fix to begin with. Now, I don't think that that's the case, because if you can break it or if you can create this thing, you ought to be able to disassemble. Look, I used to joke about my beloved father, Freddie, who, I talk lovingly about. I loved my dad. He was the greatest character that I ever met in my entire life, and he's still the greatest character I ever met. Well, I used to tell a joke with my dad. when he and his brothers, my uncles, would talk about building something, I'd be sitting at the table listening to these grandiose, harebrained Ralph Cramden schemes, and I would go like, you know what? You guys suck at building things. Dad, you know what you're good at? Tearing stuff down. You are great at demolishing stuff. I used a couple of expletives in there. You should stick to demolishing things. You know what? They did. And my father could take a building apart. He wasn't very good at building one, but he was great at a rapid, unplanned, what do they call it? A rapid, unplanned dismemberment, or however. Yeah, a rapid, unplanned disassembly. My father was fantastic at. I think you could have a rapid, unplanned disassembly or planned disassembly of Mordor on the Potomac River, and I don't think most people would miss it. What I think would happen is play the Mike Rowe clip. Don't you have Mike Rowe? Talking about Harvard, though. Okay, well, I think that Harvard and all that is all part of it. So be careful, just be careful wishing that everyone is conspiring still against you and that everything is going to go wrong. I don't think you want everything to go, yeah, we're just dealing with reality. Well, maybe reality this time says that some things actually they might go correct. I mean, Trump did build a couple of 100-story tall skyscrapers. That's not the same as it's building something. Here, Mike Rowe earlier today on the big question of the day, which is supposedly, well, what about Harvard University? I talked about this earlier today. I think he's right. Watch this.
The Ivy League, I'm sorry to say, has beclowned themselves in recent months, and Harvard has led the beclowning. Part of what I love about the president's post is the fact that it's going to force conversations like this one. And a lot of taxpayers, Chris, for the first time, are going to realize that the Harvard Corporation is sitting on a $54 billion endowment. Their president is currently screaming that this post and the idea that they could lose their tax-exempt status and some of these grants and tax money, the idea that that could happen are, in his words, unconstitutional. Now, I'm not a constitutional lawyer, but I think he's mistaken. I think that the optics here are terrible, and the first shoe to drop is going to be a gobsmacking realization on the part of a lot of regular Americans that this university is already sitting on $54 billion. What the actual hell does that even mean? So get past that. And then ask yourself, well, why then would you want to give all that money to another bunch of schools? There's nothing magical about trade schools. I love them, but they're great ones and okay ones and some that fall below, right? So what we need as a people, as taxpayers, is some kind of means testing. You can't just give money to schools any more than you can give it to any random person because they need it or want it or have dreamt of it. So really, if you got $3 billion to close the skills gap, set aside a big chunk for a national scholarship program. Carve away a little bit of that to build an infrastructure that can evaluate the individuals on their merit, right? And then carve away a bigger chunk to start telling the stories and making a more persuasive case for the 7.6 million open jobs that exist right now, most of which don't require a 4-year degree. So in a binary world, give it to the trade schools. In the real world, the trade schools, that's not going to do it. We've got to get parents and guidance counselors and kids to think differently about the opportunities that are right in front of us.
Goldfinger, he's the man with the Midas touch, a spider's touch, such a cold finger beckons you to enter his web of sin. But don't go in. Golden words he will pour in your ear, but his lies can't disguise what you feel. For a golden girl knows when he's kissed her, it's the kiss of death from Mr. Goldfinger.
Can you imagine somebody just, you walk into a recording studio and somebody hands you that song and says, here, sing this. Dame Shirley Bassey may have been may have been the greatest English. You know, Julie Andrews is in that class of people that could actually hit those particular notes. When you imagine they just hand you this, here, Shirley, what are we doing? What are we doing today, boys? What are we doing today, boys? We're doing the theme to a Bond movie. I think it's called Gold Winger or something to that effect. Here's the song. Go sing. Get into the booth. Go sing that. And she doesn't just go into the booth and go sing that. Goes and sings that. She goes into the booth and makes it something that is memorable 60 years later. That movie came out in what, 1967? 67, 68, somewhere up in there. So we're almost 60 years removed from that thing being recorded here. And still, and I listen to it in headphones, and I just marvel at that she's able to hit these notes. In any event, I just played the soundbite of the day, your last chance to win a Golden Truth ticket. Folks, all of you listening, all hands on deck, a full four alarm. We're down to DEFCON 1 emergency here on the Crusade Radio Network. And that is, the quest is to sell the remaining 500 and some odd tickets that we had this morning for the Golden Truth ticket. Your chance to win a Troy pound of 24 karat gold. And I'm going to give away in less than 2 days now. But you need a ticket to win it. And I tell you where you can get one for $50 for the chance to win almost 40 grand. Hell, by Friday, it may be, they keep shenanigans going on in Mordor. It may be 41,000 by Friday. That's how gold works. Go to winapoundofgold.com. That's winapoundofgold.com. Get your ticket, or 5 or 10, or you know what, if you're someone that makes donations to charitable organizations that are nonprofits, the Crusade Radio Guild is a nonprofit. You can make a donation and get a chance. Maybe you have a trust, and if you were to win the gold, you would distribute it to other charities. Keep spreading the love around. But if you just want to win the gold, I want you to win it. Go to winapoundofgold.com. Get your tickets today. That's winapoundofgold.com. You can tell your friends and family. You can bring them along as well, and because you don't have to be a Founders Pass member to win. Oh, really? Let's go to the Dude Maker hotline, and our final winner of the 2025 edition of the Golden Truth Ticket is on the line. Who's this?
This is Aston Murphy from Texas.
Aston Murphy from Texas. Murphy, you sound very excited. Are you excited?
I am, yeah, Mike, I've been calling all month long. This morning I finally bought a ticket. Should have done that at the start of the month. Maybe I'd have been one of those everyday winners.
Well, so now you have two.
Yeah.
And you are listening or watching where?
I am in Spring Branch, Texas.
Okay, what affiliate are you listening or watching on is what I'm asking.
Oh, jeez. Sorry, I'm on YouTube.
Okay, all right, you finally! Finally! There is a God! There is a God! I knew it! There is a God! I told you that.
Well, Mike, it's not for lack of trying.
So, no, we're just excited that someone outside of the Crusade Radio Network, that finally there's a little bit of sign of life in this network we've been trying to build the last year and a half. Well, Aston, you got two chances now. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for all you do.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure. I hope you win. I hope to call your name on Friday. And you got to be watching now.
Thank you. Absolutely will be.
All right. That's Ashton from Texas and listening or watching on YouTube. And there you have it. You heard it here first, folks. So the contest is over. A lot of people won a lot of tickets this year. Now, you heard her. I finally broke down and went and got one today. I hope that's a lot of you. Go break down and go get yourself a ticket. It's $50. It's a donation to the Mike Church Show, the Crusade Radio Guild. We just put the latest episode of Reconquest debuts tonight. We store all of those audio files, catalog them, and keep them in proper order. And Jim Mosier produces them all for Brother Andre, and we're happy to do it. That's one of the things you're supporting when you buy a Golden Truth ticket. So go get them today. Keep buying all day. Tell your friends and family. Mike's got to get to 2,000. We need to sell 500 today. Ashton bought one. That means we only need 499. Is that you? Win a poundofgold.com. We'll see you tomorrow morning bright and early. Keep going to the site and play for my friend and our friend Rusty, the mayor of Dewsonia. He's in the hospital. God bless you and Mary keep you.